Let's build a fully AFK-able log farm. These are blocks you will need for this farm. Okay guys, so the first step to this farm is to find somewhere to build it, and after you find somewhere to build it, dig 2 blocks into the ground just like this. Now remember, these 2 blocks is where you will be standing kind of AFK or while using the farm. So build this farm accordingly to where we have dug out the area, or dig out the area accordingly to where you want to have the farm. Then what you will need to do in front of the right kind of block, well, the block on the right side, destroy 1 block into the ground and replace that with a solid block, and then place a lever on front of that block. You can also destroy the 2 blocks into the ground that you're going to stand on. That doesn't matter, but Okay guys, so the next step after this is behind the block that you have the lever on, destroy 1 block into the ground and then replace that block with a sticky piston. Then head on this side and place an observer facing this way, so the little eyes should be facing towards the little face should be facing towards the block that's above the sticky piston. And then right in front of this observer you place another observer kind of facing the other way, so now the observer should be facing or turning on and off like this. You can see that based on the light and also the little sound. Now if you flick this lever, the piston should be pushed up and the observer should stop blinking. So if the observer stops blinking, you have done this correctly. Then the next step is to place a dispenser right here, or 1 block to the left of the kind of piston / observer. Then the next step is to head behind the dispenser, and behind the dispenser and the middle observer place 6 blocks going backwards, so 3 on each side. So right behind the dispenser place 3 blocks, so 1 2 3. Then to the right of this line place 3 more blocks, so 1 2 3, just like this. Then on top of the dispenser place an observer just like this, facing with the little red eye towards the platform we just built, and the little face should be facing the same way that the dispenser is facing. So after you've done this, what we need to do is place a redstone dust going out of the dispenser, the observer you just placed. Then place 1 redstone dust to the left and 2 forward just like this. Then place a redstone repeater right here just like this, and then another one kind of going into the repeater just like this. You will also need to turn the second repeater place onto 2 ticks, basically just tap on it once. Okay guys, so the next step is to head back in front here, and then 1 block to the left of the dispenser and the 1 block kind of going to the right. Place 4 sticky pistons, normal pistons going upwards, so 1 2 3, 1 2 3 4, just like that. Okay guys, so the next step is to head right here, kind of to the back side of the pistons and next to the dispenser, and from the dispenser place 3 hoppers going out backwards, so 1 2 3. Then to the right of this little dispenser line place 2 more going out, so 1 2. Then head right here, kind of next to the pistons you just placed, and place 2 more going out, so 1 2. Then what you can do is place a double chest right here. Also this chest and the hopper system will help us send bone meal into the little dispenser, which will obviously be powering the trees, or making trees spawn. Okay guys, so the next step is to head back behind there and to the kind of repeater is facing outwards. Place 2 blocks going out, 2 more to the right. Also place a block in this kind of middle thing, between all the hoppers. Then also place a block right here. Place another temporary block on top of that block, and then place a glass block going out of that kind of temporary block. Then destroy the temporary block. Then place a last block kind of right behind the top piston. Okay guys, so the next step is kind of fill in all this with redstone. So what we need to do is place 6 redstone right here, so 1 going out of the kind of repeater, then 5 more in a straight line, so 1 2 3 4 5, including above the hopper or on top of the hopper. And place a redstone dust on top of this little block right here, 1 on top of the glass and another 1 on top of this block. Okay guys, so to make sure you have done this correctly, you can head in front of here and then place a block in front of this observer. Boom. Okay, so if you place a block in front of the observer and the pistons push out, you have done this correctly, which is good. Okay guys, so now we will need to make something that will be destroying the leaves. So to do that, head behind here, hold shift and place a block on top of the repeater. Then place 2 more blocks to the right of this block, so 1 2. Then what you will need to do is place 3 pistons in front of her and then 3 more rows of 3 pistons on top. So this is the first row, then 1 more row of pistons, 1 more, and then a 4th one. So in total you should have a 3x4 kind of piston wall like this. Okay guys, so now we will have to build the kind of same thing on the other side right here, but we will go 1 down to destroy even more leaves, which is obviously good. So from the kind of left side of this double chest, if you place a double chest, if not, place a temporary block right next to the first chest, and then just place 3 pistons going out, and then the same on top of here. So then just build 4 more rows of 3 pistons going up, so 1 row, 2 rows, 3 rows, and then 4 rows. This should be the same kind of height as this wall, but obviously 1 longer, so this should be a 5x3 piston wall. Okay guys, so what you will need to do now is head behind here and then place 3 blocks kind of next to the chest just like this in the little corner arrow. Then just place redstone on top of all this. Then on top of the ground, or basically kind of under the pistons, 1 block going back, place 3 blocks just like this. Make sure you've done this correctly. Then leave 1 empty space, place 3 more blocks, leave 1 empty space, and then place 3 more blocks. Then what you can do is just fill in all these kind of rows with all the blocks you've placed with redstone on top of them. Then just place 2 blocks right here, place 2 redstone, just will link up the redstone. Then what you will need to do is place a block right here, another block right here, this is temporary block, then a block on top of that block, destroy the temporary block. Then just place 2 redstone right here, and now all the redstone should be linked together. So to make sure you have done this side correctly, what you can do is head back here and then place a block in front of the observer. And now all these pistons along with these pistons should be pushed forward as you see they are, which means we have done this correctly. So now we will need to do a similar thing on this side. So basically just place 3 blocks in the kind of middle row of the 3 pistons we have left right here. Also place a block right in front of this repeater. Place redstone on top of here, then just line up redstone line on top of here. Do the same right here. Then from the middle right here you can place a block out, then just a temporary block, another block going out, and then just link up the redstone right here. So to make sure you have done this correctly, to simply head in front of here like before, place another block, and then just make sure that every piston is pushed forward. The reason we have these 2 piston walls is to destroy any leaves, because when the leaves are destroyed we have more space for more trees to grow, which means that more trees will spawn. And also when you destroy the leaves using piston, you have a chance of getting saplings back, which is obviously good because then you will get more saplings, which means you can stand fully AFK in this thing. Okay guys, so what you will need to do now is head into this little room where you will be standing, and basically from the block that's in front of the dispenser count 10 blocks going outwards. So from this block count 10 blocks outwards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay guys, I'm quickly gonna mark the 10th block just so it's easier for you all to follow. So after you have counted out 10 blocks, on the 11th block place an observer with the little red eye facing outwards. Then you can destroy the temporary block, and as you see the little eye should be facing towards the farm. So between this observer there should be 10 blocks in the kind of ground right here, if that makes sense. Okay guys, so now we're basically just gonna copy this little redstone circuit behind this observer. So from this little redstone eye right here, place 3 redstone going outwards. So 1, 2, 3. Then place a redstone right here, you know, right next to the first redstone. Then from the kind of last part of the redstone right here, place a repeater kind of going outwards, and then another repeater kind of going into that first repeater. And remember to make this onto 2 tick. So now what you will need to do is place 2 redstone going out from this repeater, 2 to the left, 3 redstone, then go 1 redstone back, and basically there should be kind of, you know, a 2 block room gap between here and a 1 block gap room between the original observer and the new redstone line we just built. So if you have done this correctly, you should be able to activate the observer or place a block in front of the observer or something in front of the observer, and the redstone line or the redstone right here should be blink on and off once. As you see, it's correct. Then what you will need to do from the kind of right side of this redstone line or the newest redstone line, place 7 blocks going kind of towards the, you know, rest of the farm. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay guys, after you build the 7 block line, you will need to build this one more time, kind of with a 1 block gap between this. So simply you can head to this piston or just place temporary block, place another block on top of there, and then just have this as a 7 block line. So 6 more blocks if you did it this way. So, you know, 6 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And obviously with the first block we have 7. So now we should have 2 7 block lines just like this. Okay guys, so what you will need to do now is run a redstone line on top of both of these little blocks row you just placed. Also connect this up. So simply place a block at the end right here, temporary block, another block, then just destroy the temporary block, and then just link up these 2 just like this. Very simple. Okay guys, now what you will need to do is place 6 pistons in front of these blocks right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then build one more line of 6 pistons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do it once more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then do it once more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now we should have a total of a 4x6 piston wall, just like this. Now we have these pistons right here because logs will obviously spawn right here, and then when they reach the end right here, the logs or the trees will be pushed forward, just logs, since the leaves will stay. Which means that at the end we will have a massive kind of log thing right here with a bunch of logs. So yeah. Okay guys, then what you will need to do quickly is head to, you know, the first pistons we placed. Place 3 blocks on top of these pistons. 1, 2, 3. You can destroy the bottom blocks, place 1 block going out, and then destroy the first block. We have this block here, by the way, to prevent big trees from spawning, because big trees can have, you know, branches going out. You know what type of trees I'm talking about. These kind of trees which are very big and have branches going outwards, which means that you might have random logs stuck here and there, which will just be annoying for the farm. So this will prevent massive trees like that from spawning. Okay guys, now the farm is pretty much done, so all you will need to do now is simply head into this chest. Well, just fill up this chest with some bone meal, because this bone meal will be sent into the little dispenser which we have right here. As you see, the bone meal will load into here. And simply how this farm will work is that whenever you're going to stand AFK, you will simply activate this little observer will be pushed down and the bone meal will start be dispensed. The bone meal will not be dispensed unless you have a tree, you know, or a sapling, something the bone meal can be used on, by the way. But all you will need to do now is place a bone meal or a sapling, and then just wait. Okay guys, so as you see, the first tree just spawned and a sapling kind of dropped on top of there of the leaves breaking, which is all fine. You can quickly jump up and pick it up if you want. It really doesn't matter. Normally the saplings will be pushed, you know, down to the little room right there or to the middle right here, which you will be able to pick up due to the pistons. Now as you see, some leaves will still be here, which you can break manually, but the leaves are all fine. They will not destroy any of the redstone. The farm will work just the same if there is leaves here or not. So then after the first tree just spawned, all you will need to do is just continue placing saplings until there are so many logs that they reach the end, and then they will be pushed forward by these pistons. Okay guys, as you see, the second tree just spawned. We can simply place a new sapling. Also, I want to mention that this farm might take some time sometimes for the sapling spawning, but that is all fine. That is just how bone meal works. Also, you can use any type of, you know, one thick tree sapling with this farm, which is why this farm is so great. Okay guys, whenever you're done using this farm, you can simply flick off this lever and then the bone meal will stop being dispensed towards you. And as you see, a ton of logs have already spawned. Yeah guys, that was the farm and I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions about how this works, feel free to comment them and I'll answer them right away. Also, if you have any other tutorials you want me to make, feel free to comment them as well and I'll get started on them right away. Anyways, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.